Hello, one and all. Jax West, no relation to the Avery family. I run Stephen Avery Project, MAM Gossip. Just launched today the Facebook page and group for Justice with Jax. I'm just a supporter. And the other night, we read some of Ken Kratz's book. It says we have 62% read. I do this to sacrifice myself for y'all so you don't have to, so you can know what he has in his book, but you don't have to pay him. He makes no money off of it. So bear with me tonight in reading this. I didn't plan things properly and did a spur of the moment go to the eye doctor. Because I knew I needed glasses. I've known for years. And so I finally went today and had my eyes dilated today. So, but they said that would like all wear off in like 4 hours. So things are a little blurry for me, but not a big deal because also the current glasses that I'm wearing are not my prescription. It turns out that I need glasses for far, for close, and for reading. So glasses are ordered and I don't get them for 7 to 10 days. So this is the best I can do. And hello to everyone saying hello. I will read as much as I can until when Jeff comes home from work, because also I am absolutely starving. And every time Jeff comes home from work, he brings dinner. My boyfriend works, he's got 2 businesses. So he goes from his print shop to his welding business. And so he comes home like 9:30, 10 o'clock. So that puts us at 4 hours I have free right now. And before I get into the book, the reason I was a little late is I was on the phone with Tammy, who owns Words Matter Publishing, which is a book publishing company. And then she's got WMP, which stands for Words Matter Publishing Justice Review, which puts together a legal team of all these experts to work on cases. And so the main case that they're focused on is the Marnie Yang case. And tomorrow is the filing for Marnie's case. And so she actually, I'm going to have a whole bunch of reading to do. She just sent me an electronic thing of the filing. Because then on Wednesday, we have a press conference where I'm on the panel, but I don't think I really talking, but I wanted to know what's in the filing before I sit on a panel at a press conference. So I have that to get read by Wednesday. She wants me at the press conference by 8 a.m. and it's in Chicago. So it's me going from the suburbs into Chicago in rush hour. I don't know. I may have to leave at like 6 in the morning to try and make sure I'm there by 8. I'm not sure. I got to look into that still. So, so I made a post today about we need fundraising for Marnie's defense. And Tammy was just telling me that Marnie is actually freaking out about it right now because it's taken everything she and her father have for where she is up to now. And with this filing tomorrow, if she gets the new trial that everybody's hoping for, that's a whole new bill from her lawyer and such to do that. So she needs money for her defense. So I put up this thing that if you go to the marnieyang.com and then click on the CI group, and you pay the $10, that the $10 is good for a year. then you will be able to join the closed CI group on Facebook, where this filing, there are 600 pages in this filing, tons of exhibits. All that stuff is going to go up in the CI group. So you're going to be able to see it all. And that we want your eyes looking at Marnie's case and tell us what you see. So it's just something that we came up with to do, that instead of just doing, you know, we've got a GoFundMe, donate to this cause or whatever, it's, you're going to get into this closed group and see this stuff. And so now I've done, if you pay the $10 today, tomorrow, or Wednesday, we will then assign a number to you at random. And then we'll be doing in the CI group a live when we're on the phone with Marnie. That Marnie will be on speakerphone, and then I'll just have her pick a number between 1 and how many people did it, and that person will win this My Mom Marnie book that I will have signed by her 3 kids. That will be at the press conference on Wednesday. Wednesday is also wrongful conviction day. So, and I think what I'm going to do too, since these are still sitting here, and I haven't decided for sure what I'll do with them, is I still have a Wrecking Crew book that I can't get you, but so I have a Wrecking Crew book that is signed by the author, John Farrick, that says, "To supporters of Stephen Avery, thank you for fighting on." I still have one of those sitting here. And then I have this one. I have Buting's book that is just signed by Buting. It just says Jerry Buting, and then the time I had him sign it, March 6, 2017. So I think I'll be doing something to raffle off these books. And I haven't decided what I should do. But, all right, let me scroll to see if you have comments here. Okay, nobody's got anything but hi and happy to be here. And I know when this is live, people won't be able to see the comment that I'm saying right now, but I will again say, while I'm reading this, I won't be looking at your comments. And so if you're going to be, try to ask me a question or anything like that, I'm just reading this and just looking over at y'all occasionally. Christy Lynn is on here, who is one of our moderators. And so she'll be available to answer questions. I don't know if our other 2 MAM Gossip moderators are in here to help out or not. But again, the most asked questions are always, who am I? My name is Jax West. I run this page in Stephen Avery Project. No relation to the family. I'm just a supporter like all the rest of y'all. How are Stephen's parents? Stephen's parents are old and getting older every day. And every day that Stephen doesn't come home to them is another day closer to the chance that he will not be able to be free with his parents. And no, Joyce, I did not pay for this book. Moderator Christy has hooked me up with it. So I didn't pay for it. Yes, Christy is watching comments. So where I am starting on Ken Kratz, his masterpiece of lies, we're starting on chapter 11, which is titled The Villains. It is page 146 of 234, claiming we are 62% read. And this will remain up. So if you weren't able to catch us live, you'll be able to see it later. All right, the villains. Imagine signing up for a lifetime of bringing those who harm others to justice and then being accused wrongly of conspiring to frame an innocent man for murder and maybe even killing a young woman. Imagine living with these accusations. Well, I wonder if Stephen can wonder what that's like. I wonder. Imagine living with these accusations for which no proof is ever offered for a quarter of your life. Yeah, imagine. Imagine patrolling snowy Midwestern back roads faithfully, anonymously, for decades, and then being featured as a bad guy in a television show seen by millions around the world, a show deemed worthy of Hollywood's highest honors. Let's look at two officers who suffered this fate. They won't win an Emmy for the performance of their duties, but that's okay with them. Andy and Jim. Well, they wouldn't win Hollywood's highest what they have to offer because they're horrible actors and they did a horrible frame job. All right, let's go. Andy is the model Midwestern cop. Up through the ranks, a record as unblemished as his uniform, except for receiving a call letting him know that they had Stephen in custody when really it was somebody else and he just ignored it for years. But also a man with a common touch, a cop who was born in, lives in, and will always live in the community he protects. The kind of cop rural Wisconsin cherishes. Soft-spoken, a man who looks you straight in the eye and always means what he says. That's Andy. Sappy, right? Bullshit is what I would describe it as. Perhaps from a big city perspective, not to us cheeseheads. Boy. In 1995, 7 years removed from a decade-long tour of duty in the U.S. Air Force, Andy Colborn, then 35, worked for the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department as a corrections officer. One day, another law enforcement agency, they had a guy in lockup bragging about assaulting some lady in Manitowoc County, claiming another guy got arrested for it and sent to prison. This meant nothing to Andy, who simply transferred the call to the detective unit. Done. Finished, kaput. That was the full extent of Andy's connection to Stephen Avery's sexual assault case, the one that would see Avery exonerated after serving 18 years in state prison. Andy knew the Avery family well. He bought car parts from them. Quote, I didn't care if Steve got $100 billion from his lawsuit against Manitowoc County. Not a dime of that was coming out of my pocket. The man deserved to get paid, unquote. But then why didn't you do a report as was required of you? Hell, even the Avery family grew its share of cops. Manitowoc Deputy Arland Avery, the brother of Stephen Avery's father, Alan, helped train Andy Colborn as a young officer. So when Teresa Hallback disappeared and then her RAV4 was found on the Avery salvage yard, quote, I didn't think Stephen would be dumb enough to be involved in something like this when things were going so well for him, unquote. Quote, why would he throw that all away when his payday was coming? Stephen had turned his life around. He could have bought himself an island and gotten away from all of this, unquote. Yeah, why? Makes no sense, does it? Not only did he have his $36 million lawsuit, but he was coming into X amount of dollars, math, I don't do math, I don't recall what it was, but he was getting something tax-free from the government. That's before his case was even going. So why would he do something like that? Oh, he's angry at women? No. Sexual deviant? No. Because now remember too, while Jody is in jail, she's in jail, not prison, she was out regularly. Stephen would pick her up and take her to her DUI classes. So he had a lot of contact on top of the phone calls with his girlfriend. So